Hi, today I thought we would talk about Twitter, because Twitter is a huge thing in America.
Twitter.
It really is. It's a huge thing in Japan as well.
He's a big star in Japan.
And somehow it just never cracked Scandinavia. Like, let's look at Denmark, for instance.
Denmark is the best!
I'm from Denmark. I don't have any friends who I know of who actually uses Twitter. I've been using Twitter for a while now, usually in relevance to my YouTube channel, but also in relevance to just sort of, it's a nice place to keep in touch with your idols. But somehow that's not at all relevant for people in Denmark. There's no companies in Denmark who's on Twitter. There's no companies who tries advertisement on Twitter because it's just terrible. But why is this? It's actually a pretty cool idea. It's basically a platform, especially for famous people. It's a one-way platform, for them at least, where you sort of can post your thoughts and let your fans know what you're doing and what you're up to and where they can find you. And it's a great place for news to be created, because like the 140 characters kind of means that you have to be concise and you have to upload everything meticulously. So usually Twitter will be first with the news. Whether or not you can then actually trust them is a completely different thing. But it's interesting how they never cracked Scandinavia. And it's pretty common knowledge as well right now that they are having a hard time trying to sell it after Vine closed down and everything. It's sort of been a very big issue for Twitter that they can't make money off of their platform, so why would anyone buy them? And it's an interesting thing. I think in Denmark at least, it's because they never reached out to the celebrities or the big companies. So there are just no users on Twitter. If you look at the Danish Twitter, you have comedians or you have politicians. And that's the only two types of people you see on Twitter. And that's just not enough. There's nothing for us there. So as a Danish person, if I want to follow my Danish idols, I have to do that on Instagram or I have to do that on Facebook, which is fine in itself. But that makes it very, very difficult for people in Denmark and Scandinavia to figure out how to use Twitter, because then it all of a sudden serves no purpose. And that's sort of what's happening in America as well. Now it's just become this place where you can go on Twitter rants and you can find out about gossip, but that's about it. And that's a very sad thing. So I thought I would educate people a little bit about what I think Twitter is. To me, Twitter is a place where you can post something with tags that people can then search in and find. That's basically it. So an unreddited Reddit, if you will. It's a really nice place. You have to be open-minded and you have to realize that not everyone's gonna be nice on Twitter. And there are a lot of bots on Twitter as well. So every time someone goes into your channel and likes 40 of your posts, that's not gonna be a real person, just sorry. But once you get past that, the trending parts is really where it all happens on Twitter. It's on the lower left side of the screen when you enter it the first time. And they change depending on where you are in the country or the world. So don't get too hung up on what they say. But they usually have a top 10 of hashtags that are trending right now. And that's where you will find the interesting news, especially if you don't follow a lot of people. The first thing you should do, Twitter is trying to help you as well with this when you make a new account, but the first thing you should do is find the people you want to actually learn stuff about. People you have a genuine interest in. Of course, your friends would be a nice place to start, but they won't usually post that much. So find interesting people. Sort of like on LinkedIn. If you don't follow a lot of people on LinkedIn, it's not that interesting. A friend pointed that out to me recently, and I have sort of never really used LinkedIn before. Like, that's what made it interesting. Following people who say stuff that you actually want to hear about. And that's the same on Twitter. If you don't have anyone who you follow, you don't have any content showing up. It's not like Facebook where you all of a sudden have 1,000 friends and they all post stuff all the time. And if they don't post it, Facebook posts a commercial for them. It's not like that on Twitter. We still have commercials, but it's just not the same. You need to find people. So for me, for instance, I like following Philip DeFranco. I like following Casey Neistat, and I probably like following CNN as well because I'm a bit of a liberalist. I don't know, but that's an entirely different movie. I really hope that this gives you a sort of sense of what Twitter is and helps you out maybe trying it. Because it's really, really great, but it's tough when you first start out because there's no tutorial, there's no guidance, it's just straight into it, pick 40 people you like and just get going. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, it's sort of easy to get hung up with like how many followers do I have? Do I have to post every day? How do I even make funny posts? What's up with all of these hashtags? Because hashtags are really important on Twitter and they're not that important on Instagram. Honestly, people just kind of throw them around, but on Twitter you have only the 140 characters to make a tweet, which is a post. So you can only post very short sentences or quotes. That's why people usually go on what they call Twitter rants, where they then tweet a lot of tweets in a row, and that's meant to be one big post. And then that's like an entire, they're usually complaining about something. So it's usually pretty funny to see, because either someone gets destroyed or someone is just ignorant. But it is not all good and fun. We have seen stories about people who made one tweet, went on an airplane, flew for 8 hours and were fired from their jobs and hated across the entire internet before their plane landed. I'm not gonna say who that was, but that was a thing that happened. So be careful with what you post. And she only posted a very dark humored sentence about colored people. So I mean, it doesn't have to be an entirely big new thing that gets you hated. It's sometimes just because it's fun to talk about you whilst your phone is on airplane mode on an airplane. So be careful, but definitely give Twitter a chance. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it could be really great, especially for companies. And I think especially Scandinavia should try and get into the Twitter game, and Twitter in America should try and get out of the Twitter rant and into the actual sharing of interesting things, because just having the trending things are not enough. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I really hope you learned something or that you found what you were looking for. So yeah, I make videos every single day. That's kind of the thing, sort of the point of a vlog. Usually I make vlogs like 4 to 5 days a week, and then I make sort of more content in the sense that if I want to make a movie about something, if I figure something out, if I think something would help people out like this, then I make a video about that the other days. So yeah, hit that subscribe button if you want to join, and that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Twitter.
Hashtag